Welcome to Fahrenheit TV.
Fahrenheit TV.
Fahrenheit TV is a live monthly variety show that showcases people's greatness through narratives and artistic expression. We're back this summer to bring you more live, sizzling talk and entertainment to uplift your soul. Tune into our live episodes here on BNN TV or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to follow us on social media to keep up with all our latest news. We hope that you'll tune in. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fahrenheit TV. I am your host, Farrah June, your host and producer, and I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. Happy holidays. It's December. It's the last month of the year. I can't believe the decade is about to end. It's 2019. Oh my goodness. It's been an amazing year. And guess what, everyone? Today is our season finale. I know. Can you believe it? It's our 18th episode of season 3. I can't even believe we've done 18 episodes. But I am so excited because we are ending our last episode of season 3 with the best guests, 2 incredible artists I have tons of respect for, one I've known for a while, and one that's gonna hit our stage with some dope music. And tonight, my first guest is one of the greatest models I've ever met, not only because she is fierce on the runway, but because she also has a kind heart. Her name is Samantha. Thank you, Samantha, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I mean, this is a reunion because you were on the Fahrenheit TV stage once, not as one of our guests, but you was one of the models, the ambassador models for Boston Caribbean Fashion Week. So it's finally great to have you as one of our extraordinary guests to hear your story. But you know, we seen you when you were just doing your thing on our stage, looking glamorous, representing the brand well, and just doing your thing on the runway. So thank you for coming back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, tell us, how's life been since then? I mean, I've had the wonderful blessing to see you on stage, you know, on the runway doing your thing, and some of the work you're doing behind the scenes, which really inspires me and what you're going to be talking about tonight. So how's life been for you?
It's been good. It's been, you know, always a fun, crazy, creative time.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think the last time I was here was in 2017.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I know, time
it
flies.
Woo.
The fact it's almost 2020, like.
I know it's gonna be a new decade, but look, I'm happy that we're both in good spirits and good health. So
yes. But it's been good. You know, I kind of switched from modeling to making art and really using, you know, that medium as a way to express myself during really difficult times.
Yeah, and you know, I'm really proud of you because, as I was saying before, I've seen, you know, we've met up at like modeling shows together, and we're in good spirits, laughing, we're having a good time, and even seeing you on Facebook, you know, through social media, I see all the great things you're doing. I'm like, yes, girl, work. But then, like, I remember seeing that one status that one day that totally like changed everything, and I was like, I had no idea that you were living with lupus, like. I would have never known because every time we seen you, every time I saw you, you were always like Colgate smile, making everybody in the room feel good. You know, it was just like natural vibes with you. So I had no idea that you were living with something so serious. And I know 1.5 million people live with lupus, and it's mostly 90% of women that actually deal with it. So how has that been for you living with lupus?
It's definitely been a rocky road. It really started, you know, way back, I think it was March 2017. I felt almost like I wanted to hide having lupus.
Yeah.
I felt like, you know, not that many people knew about it, and, you know, it was something I shouldn't just present.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time just holding it back and not really, because, you know, when you have lupus, you don't know what people are going to think. You don't know what people already know about it.
Yeah.
So if you're like, hey, I have lupus, people could think, you know, like, oh, is she gonna give it to me? Like, how did she get it? Like,
it's so taboo, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even though it's just really like a Google search would really save some lives to be like, all right, this is what it is. So can you actually tell our audience what it is if they don't know what lupus is?
Absolutely. So lupus is an autoimmune disease where your body attacks itself. So there's no cure. It can be managed. But every type of lupus is different. So for example, my lupus, it attacks my heart. So I have chronic pericarditis. So that sac around your heart that protects it fills up with fluid and gets so heavy.
Oh my God.
I had to have it cut open and drained out.
Oh,
That's when I was diagnosed with lupus. It also affects my hair, so I have massive heavy hair loss, especially this time of year. My body is flaring up because of the cold. And everyone's
the weather
sick.
and everything.
My immune system's suppressed because of having lupus attacking itself. So if I'm, let's say I don't know, shopping. You're touching things or like everyone's sick. So.
It's that season. So like if you're living with lupus, it's even harder because it's like, oh, I could get a cold from anybody else, and this makes it so much worse.
Exactly. Wow. And some people it affects their skin. People get a butterfly rash. A lot of people, for me as well, my joints all swell up, and it can affect your kidneys or brain. So it looks normal. Like I could have the worst flare-up ever,
and no one would know.
Exactly.
And that's what I was saying, because we didn't know. I'm like since 2017, I've known you for a while, and I was like, I would have never known. You know what I mean? But you still would do your thing on the runway, which I commend you a lot, because that takes a lot of courage, even to share your story. So even when you're talking about that, because you're a professional, you're a creative professional, were you scared to tell your people that you're working with that you have this and that they would judge you about it?
Yes. So. It was crazy. It was a big switch. It's kind of like, no turning back. So for me, I was very worried because I did a lot of work in event marketing. So they need people who can work all day and,
and full of energy and happy
and reliable.
And
And the minute you kind of say like, hey, I have lupus, and it becomes a part of your identity. People might think like, oh, I don't want to hire her because, she might not be able to last the day. So. For me, I think that was why I was so hesitant at first to really, bring it out. But the minute I did, I just felt the world open up to me. It was the total opposite, because, you meet people and they might not have a chronic illness, but their mom could, their sister. I've heard stories about family members who have passed with lupus, and people who I had no idea, but they have lupus too. So it really is, the mystery disease. And to be so open about it, you just learn so much. It's weird, but this disease has somehow become a blessing for me.
No. I mean, I see what you're saying, because as soon as you you put it out to the world, I did see that you felt more relaxed. You know what I mean? Like, and it's good that you're able to to wear it with a badge of honor. You know what I mean? And educate other people. And not only that, but you're also using it as a way through your art, channeling it through your art, which I wanted to talk to you about that no rhyme or reason art. So how did you come up with that? Can you tell us a little bit about it? I've been seeing, some of the posts. I'm like, ooh, you even got me a gift, which, oh my gosh, I love my button. But we're gonna talk about that more. So how did that come alive? I know it was like very therapeutic for you to be doing this. So how did that come alive?
Yeah. So with no rhyme or reason art, I was kind of thinking, I'm going through this really hard time, and in the past I'd always used art to help me, but I needed something larger. Like even if I wrote a little poem or short story, it wasn't giving me that feel of, letting out those emotions. So I started to paint, because in my head, when you have an autoimmune disease, no one can see it. But maybe if I paint a visualization, people will get it.
You could express it that way.
And, at first I was like, no rhyme or reason, like, that's an easy way to name it, because if it's named No Rhyme or Reason, people are like, oh, what's your art about? No rhyme or reason. But it's become so much bigger, like, no rhyme or reason, there's, like, oh, my outfit, there's no rhyme or reason. It's been this almost term of empowerment that, if it's, hey, no rhyme or reason. Like,
it's just art that makes you happy. It's art that expresses something deep, but it's art that, will inspire you. It inspires me.
Exactly. Thank you.
Awesome, of course. So we're going to take a short break, Samantha, and then when we come back, we're going to learn more about No Rhyme or Reason and how you can get involved and support this. So coming back to you soon. Stay tuned.
You've messed up your son's haircut. Do you try to fix it? Work with what you've got? Or show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Fahrenheit TV.
again for tuning in to another episode of Fahrenheit TV. I am here sitting with Samantha of No Rhyme or No Reason, and we're learning about this incredible brand that, you know, creates art for a purpose, and is something that she's very passionate about. And she's been talking to us about how living with lupus has inspired her to, you know, do so much more and use this this tool, this art form, as a way to express herself and also to inspire others. So Samantha, thank you so much again for being here with us. And you know, before the show, you were so kind. My God, you are such a queen. You got me a nice button with the Fahrenheit TV logo, which definitely I'm gonna wear for the next show, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much for being so kind and doing that. But speaking of like buttons, you make shirt, you make canvases, you make earrings. Oh my God, those guys, can we just give appreciation for the earrings? Yes, look at the disco ball. Oh my gosh, full of light in her soul, light in her heart, bringing that light to the Fahrenheit TV stage. Thank you, they are so beautiful. So I want to talk a little bit about your art. You brought some pieces with us today. So the first piece is on our table here. Can you talk to us a little bit about what inspired you to create this?
Yeah, so for me, I wanted to challenge myself to paint in different weather climates.
Yeah.
Because again, with lupus, like my hands flare up and, you know, it makes me not want to paint during the winter.
Yeah.
So I got totally bundled up and I went to paint this beautiful view. It was like a little pond and some trees.
I see it. Yeah.
And I totally finger painted it, and I actually used sticks off the ground to do some of the details.
Yes.
But my hands started to flare up so bad, I had to finish it at my car. So I left my car like idling, and I'd run back, look at it, come back, sit, you know, and go back and back.
Wow, that's commitment. That's what a real artist does. They're like, I'm gonna make this work no matter what.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I love it because it's, you know, it's just like, I don't know.
No, I love all the colors. I love how it all flows together. You could tell that the skies, the mountains,
There's some
the
sticks
water.
in
You
there.
see some sticks, the actual sticks in there. You can see reflections of the mountain in the water. I mean, did you go to school for art?
No,
You're just self-taught.
Yep, I went to school for marketing and sustainability.
Yes.
Keep the earth
Yes,
clean.
and she's
yeah,
doing
keep
that.
it
And
green.
she's painting the earth for what she sees. That's beautiful. Yeah. How about this other piece that we have right here on our? I mean, I remember you told me this is hair on the wall, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, what inspired you to do that one?
That's one of my favorites. It's like my pride and joy. So for me, one of the biggest things about my identity, and even my identity with lupus, it's my wavy hair.
Yeah, I mean, girl, you got that hair. It's beautiful. Every time I'm like nice and full. Sometimes you be having it up. I'm like, yes, girl. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
When I, you know, was diagnosed with lupus, and after I was in the hospital for over a week after my procedure.
Yeah.
So my body was like freaking out, totally freaked out, and my hair just started to fall out like crazy because I was, you know, I just had the worst flare up.
Yeah.
And I've learned that through my flare-ups, my hair loss is a big symptom of my lupus. And, you know, the times I've taken a shower and, you know, after I scrub my hair and it's just hair. And I'd literally just put it on the wall.
Water, like,
and the end of my shower, so my drain isn't clogged, it's just hair.
Yeah.
And instead of just feeling like sad and sorry and just, because again, every time I took a shower, there was an anxiety that, oh man, my hair.
I know what you mean, yeah.
But that's my exact representation of that experience. So, which is nice because I feel like a lot of the people I've met with lupus, hair loss is a big symptom. So when I show that to people I meet at, you know, lupus not conventions, but conferences and, you know, dinners and stuff.
That one really speaks to them.
Yeah.
And I really love the use of colors that you use, you know, like, I love that you could have made this like really dark, because, you know, it could be like, it could be something that you just like, always brings a bad experience to you, but I love that you brought some lighter colors in that. To me, that shows that like, there's hope.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that like, even though like there's hair coming out, but you are still here, you are still going, you are still alive. And you're ready for another day, and it'll grow back. It's here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I love the use of colors and the story, obviously, behind it. So that's beautiful. And how about this last one that you brought? I love that one because I'm like, you can see so many things in that image. So what inspired you to create that last one?
Yeah, so I call that the woman. So I had been experimenting with all these different types of painting because again, I have no background in art. Never watched a YouTube video, never went to a class. I was just like, I'm gonna buy some canvases, buy some paint, and
make it
try.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that one, I was like, how can I use gravity and how can I use fun to make art? So I bounced on a trampoline with that bad boy.
What?
I know.
Wait, did you just say, how can I use gravity and art? I'm like, how does that come in someone's mind? That is so dope. You were on a
Thank you.
trampoline?
And just bounced up and down. I'd painted a little bit before that, jumped on the trampoline, I'm throwing paint, and
That's so fun.
that poor trampoline, it was bright yellow after that.
But that must have been so like I don't know, refreshing. Like, let's just throw paint. Let's just make something.
It made me feel like, I don't know, brought back like my childhood of going to my grandparents' house and jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah.
So it just, again.
No rhyme, no reason.
Yeah, there really isn't.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a freeing feeling to make paintings with no rhyme or reason.
I think
there's
that's
no
so
expectation.
dope. And so I would imagine that your artistic studio looks like that. It could look like anything. It could be like you painting, you know, outside, you on a trampoline. Like there's really, you kind of go with the flow, whatever you're feeling.
Very much so.
Wow, that's awesome. So now, why do you think it's important for, now that you've had No Rhyme or Reason art, why do you think it's important for people to know about lupus? Because obviously a lot of people are not aware about lupus and its effects, especially on women, 90% of women. What do you hope that, you know, this brand and its mission will give to people?
You know, with lupus, it can take 7 to 10 years to diagnose.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really painful because, again, you can't see it. So you can be going to doctors and saying, hey, I have this ache, this pain, this, that, and the other. And people can just say, oh, you know, it could just be, are you dehydrated? Are you tired? And I want to empower people to advocate for their own health.
Yes.
Because you know your body. And a little, you know, anecdote about me. Before I had my surgery, I had a flare-up that lasted maybe 4 weeks. Wow. My chest pains were insane. I had these horrible chest pains.
Like a heart attack almost?
Worse.
Oh,
When I
geez.
laid down, I felt like I was drowning. I couldn't lay down, I couldn't walk, I couldn't breathe because fluid was crushing my heart. You should have a tablespoon of fluid, and I had 3 cups. The doctors beforehand, you know, I saw a gastrologist, and because I had these pains, they just said, you know, oh, you know, book an appointment elsewhere. And, you know, if I didn't drive myself to the hospital that day, drive myself, I left my college class to drive myself. If I didn't do that, I would be dead.
You want to be on the Fahrenheit TV stage right now,
Yeah,
telling us to advocate for our health.
So you
yes,
gotta
that is
advocate
so
for your
important.
health. You are, you know, you are your best person to do so. You know, if your doctor says, you know, oh, you know, or if a nurse says, I don't know what's going on, you gotta fight for your health because, like I said, it takes years for lupus to be diagnosed, and men can get it too. So they can get diagnosed with it, they can have it, you know, and with lupus, it can be, we don't know if it's environmental or medical, so, or family, so.
Yeah, they're still doing studies and stuff.
Yeah, so you gotta fight for your health.
So Samantha, I can't believe our time has like almost come to an end. How can we follow and support you? Because this is really important, and not only like what you're doing with, you know, your mission, but also your art and all the creative things that you're doing. How can we follow and support you?
Thank you. So I'm on Instagram. I have a website, all that fun stuff. It's at NROR Art. So the abbreviation for No Rhyme or Reason. In May, later in the year, I actually do a big fundraiser for the Lupus Foundation.
Oh yeah, because it's Awareness Month, right? May is Lupus Awareness Month. Yes.
And the walk is in October. This year, I believe it's October 17th.
Okay.
Last year, my team raised $1,260. This year, we're hoping for even more.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on the stage and sharing your story. And again, I am such a fan of what you're doing. Keep going. Please let me know how we can support you, how I can support you. And I'm going to wear my button proudly and call you up to get some of those earrings. And thank you again for being on our show. We hope you have a great holiday and you stay in great health.
Thank you so much.
Of course. This was awesome. This was great. Oh, man.
Fahrenheit TV. Fahrenheit TV.